Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Yes, we are talking to you guys about, Ultimatum, season 2, the reunion. Yeah, it was quite the show. There wasn't much that was going on. It was a bit of a waste, if I'm honest with you. But I decided to bring a few people together just to kind of have a conversation. I know they were joining us in a minute or two. This particular reunion, the fact the whole season was quite interesting. Anybody catch the crazy moment where Rya and her sister are talking about how she can't get wet? Y'all remember that point where Rya's sister was like, "Yo, how y'all doing with you can't get wet?" I was like, wait a minute. Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that old boy can't get her wet? I said, damn, that's a little bit much to be telling everybody on the show. I felt for the kid. I felt for the kid because I felt like, you know what, they did him kind of dirty with that one there. You get me? But I think it further proved what I meant about what I felt about Rhea and Trey. Right? They're no good for each other. Let's be honest. They're no good for each other because where he sees himself and where she sees himself, she's trying to hold on to a good man. And I'm like, and not because I think that he's a good man that she is a bad girl or anything. No, not at all. I just think to myself, I see her holding on to him because she can see a good thing, but she's not ready to commit to it just yet. And we've all been there, right? We've all been there where someone is good for us, but we don't want to commit all the way just yet. We're a little bit scared. It happens. It's we're not gonna cuss her for that. But for me, Trey and Rhea, they don't need to be there. I'm not gonna lie to you, they didn't need to be there. Obviously, James and Ryan, they obviously set a date, but also they said yes on the engagement on the show. James kind of shut down for the course of the season. Pretty much, I think after that, pretty much when that hand situation. Anybody remember the hand situation? It was quite clear and obvious what she meant by the hand, right? I've done a few videos on it as well, so it'll be released in a week. But it was quite obvious what she meant by um her saying about the hand situation, because in reality what she was really asking for was talking about love language, right? Her love language was physical touch and she wanted to be touched, and he was seeing that the physical touch was a bit much for him. The physical touch was doing too much. The physical touch was, in a sense, for him, was going to be going too far. I think, because he's cheated on Ryan before as well, which is quite interesting. He cheated on Ryan. I was like, wait, hold a minute. He's cheated on Ryan already? That's going to be some trust issues that's going to be there too. Like, I wonder how that got sorted out, if it ever got sorted out. Do you know what I mean? So I was looking and I was like, yo, there's a lot to break down in that aspect, in that particular point as well. So yeah, man, I don't know. I was looking at it and I was like, it's a bit mad right now. But hey ho, they said yes, so we're gonna support them. And then we also had uh then the situation with uh Roxanne and Antonio. Um I'm not gonna lie to you, that situation, I'll be real, yeah. Roxanne, Antonio, that boy is a sucker. Like, I don't want to be bad about it because I feel bad, but that boy is the Lulu and sucker. Because how is it you got to a whole point where you don't even realize that people are trying to tell you you need to leave old girl alone, but you don't want to do it? How do we do that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you go through the whole season where people are telling you, parents are even saying to you that you don't need to be there, but you stay around there? How are you so delulu that you allow Roxanne to mistreat you, mishandle you, disrespect you, treat you less than a man? She's always rolling her eyes, making faces as if even when you were telling us about your business, she didn't even look like she was overly happy for you. That kind of person, they're never gonna feel comfortable. They've made business their personality. They've made business their personality. And if you beat them at business, if you do more business than them, they're gonna feel some type of way. Because business has become their personality. I was like, yo, why are they doing this? Why is Antonio suffering so much in a relationship just for Roxanne? And visibly, he felt uncomfortable several times through the episode because when Roxanne would start talking about things, he would start making faces. He wasn't comfortable. And why would you be comfortable? Why would you feel comfortable when the woman that you're supposedly loving is disrespecting you openly in front of everybody? Took her ring off the day after, took her ring off and was like, actually, I don't want to wear the ring. Making up some buffoonery excuses why she don't wear the ring, right? How many chances, how many red flags do you want to see before you start saying, I don't need to be here? How many red flags? So I was looking at it, I was like, yo, to be honest, like I'm Antonio needs to fix up. He gonna die an early death if he doesn't, emotionally. And then we had obviously Roxanne herself. Let me tell you something. Roxanne's a funny bird. I'll be honest with you. Roxanne's funny because honestly, when I look at Roxanne, I'm like, hey, darling, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, Roxanne? Huh? Honestly, Roxanne is the type to tell you that she made you. Absolutely. She's the type to tell you she made you. And I knew that from episode one. We knew that from episode one, episode two, no, three, actually, when they swap over. She literally tells Alex that, basically, all boys should be grateful for her. I was like, yo, we've been wild out here, cuz. So, yeah, we've got a lot to discuss, man. We've got a lot to discuss. You know what I mean? And we're gonna discuss it. So don't worry about that, guys. If you also feel like you want to have your say, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. That dumpling tastes good. That dumpling tastes good. If you want to, wait, I'm eating and chewing. This is rude. I'm so sorry, guys. I really should have waited until I chewed that food before I said anything. Um, but if you've got something to say, um, by all means, I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you guys. You can jump on and have your say. Would prefer cameras because everyone else got cameras, so it'll be easier. Okay, see way.
Hey, am I live? Oh, I am. Hey, guys.
Hey, baby, you right? What's
I'm
good?
good.
What's good? What's goody?
Nothing much. I
No,
just got through working out, so
just in your lavish home.
I know I wish.
No worries. The mansion looks good. So obviously, this particular ultimatum. What's your thoughts on ultimatum overall this season? Because season one, season two now. So what's your thoughts?
Season one was definitely better. I will say season two, the white people held their own. They definitely brought all the chaos, all the craziness themselves. So that was interesting to see. I just feel like the structure is fine, but they need to execute differently. Um they need to stop having these young people. Anybody under 26 really just doesn't need to be on the show. I think that would help a lot. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else would really help. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I also think this season you had a lot of people who were just saying yes because they just wanted to say yes, but to save to spare the other person's feelings, which really didn't bring the drama, which is fine. Like, I don't need you to bring drama that brings hell to your own life. But I think a lot of people were saying yes just to say yes, and I didn't. And they're still not married. None of them.
Two of them are set a date though, but we'll see what happens.
Right? They set a date. Yeah.
I think he's got a kid as well. If I saw correctly, I think did I see Alex and Kat got a kid, or was that his nephew? Was that his nephew or niece?
I don't think they would. The
Maybe
way he was judging what's his name? Brad and the way he was judging the black couple, they had a baby before they were married. He's not gonna have no baby. He definitely made a comment in the beginning saying, some people do stuff the wrong way, which I caught. I definitely peeped. So Brian, thank you. I highly doubt that they had a kid before they got married. So
he's got pictures on his page with himself with a baby. So I don't know if they got married or not, but he definitely got some baby in his picture. I don't know whose it is, but
they had set a March 2024 date from what I remember them showing. Right? March 2024.
Was they March or May? They were May.
Or May 2024, yeah.
Was it 2024 or 2023? Because they shot it in 2022.
The sheet that he said 2024.
Oh. Okay.
On there. So yeah, I just think they're just a little bit too young. No high school sweethearts, and maybe just more structure about just people just not saying yes just because they don't want to let folks down. I feel like that's what was going on.
I definitely hear you on that.
Reunion
Jay,
was watched though.
What's your thoughts to the Ultimatum season 2? Just overall thoughts on season 2.
Okay, I can't compare it to season 1 because I didn't watch it, so I can't give you no comparison to that. So for me, watching this for the first time, it was quite interesting. I know Seaway has a thing against them being so young, but we see a lot of those type of couples as well come along through our past where they high school sweethearts. It's not as many as in the past, but some people still do it. So it's still an interesting dynamic to peep out and think about. I forget that they so young, so sometimes I don't see it how Seaway see it. Like, to me, I'm like 7 years. You should know something, but when you are that young and you're transitioning from being a teenager and under other people's rules to going to being an adult and trying to be an adult with a whole nother person, that's a lot. So I can get it. We spent a lot of time on the couple that wasn't there, which was kind of crazy, especially at the reunions. Like, why are we spending so much time on them or whatnot? Some people have not changed through this whole process. And good luck to the ones who's getting married, even though I don't think any of them really should at this point.
Yep, I hear that, Jay. I ain't gonna lie to you. For me personally, I didn't think any of them should have been together, to be honest. I think there's some that are stronger than others, but I didn't think they need to be together personally as well. Overall, okay, so overall, let's break some of these couples down before we get to reunion. Let's talk about overall some of these situations because there's a lot to go through in terms of some of these couples. Let's start a bit wild because a couple who weren't there the most actually, Lisa and Brian, they exited in like episode 3. She told him she had a baby. He said, yeah, oh my days. But he looked like he was pressed. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I don't know how he tried to sell it like he was happy. He looked pressed. Okay. I've never seen a brother be so pressed when he heard the pregnancy in my life. If that's surprise, I'm surprised that he's surprised. Okay. So he looked very, very stressed at that moment, and then looked like he had to come back into acting again. But Lisa and Brian, they were a big part of the storyline, even though they were only for episode 3. Brought them back for the reunion, I'm guessing because they probably want to get more views and ratings, because the show doesn't feel like it's doing very well, if I'm honest with you. I don't see many people talking about it. But what's your thoughts, Lisa and Brian, over the course of the last 10 episodes? What's your thoughts on this? Or 8 episodes, I should say. Anybody can take it.
Jay, you go first. I want to hear what you think.
I don't know why you want to throw me in the gas fire so you could just go ahead and set it ablaze after I get off. But I was just as surprised as Brian was when the announcement was made. My face was probably the same way, like, you effing lying. You are so effing lying because and unfortunately somebody math ain't mathing. So either Lachey's math is not mathing, because they said this was all done a year prior to the reunion, yet the baby is 7 weeks old. Now, I know it take about 10 months to go ahead and hatch you a little hatchling human and all this like that, but a year, that's in 7 months, I guess it's kind of about close. But then I'm like, how far along were you? Because you literally had to be like a day pregnant. Literally had to be a day pregnant, unless you went past due dates. I don't know. It's really, really close. The timing is really close on that baby. But hey, here we are now. We got a kid. We got to move forward in the future. Only thing I agree with her in the beginning is that we're going to have to be great parents regardless of which way it goes. Now, her still trying to hold on to the fact that he want to get married. If he want to play in the gray and not give her a real answer, because he didn't give me an answer at all. He like, we on a timeline and we doing it the way we want to do it, and that's just what it is. And I like the fact that we on this timeline, but she ain't on that timeline, because she got through saying she don't want to be a forever baby mama. She didn't want to be a forever girlfriend. So I don't see anything changing. Outside of that, her attitude was quite stank still. She wanted to talk about she was hormonal and all of this when she put her hands on him, which in some cases, you getting all up in his face and all that. Yes, it could be true, but you were not thinking none of that until Roxanne actually said it. So let's be honest. That was how you really felt about the situation. That's how you felt about the girl, because the girl pressed you. You was pressed by her. She's a beautiful Black woman. Similar in stature, and then already have a similar background, because you was going hard in the yard on that girl head, talking about how she gonna motivate you, how she gonna push you, how she gonna do that and this and the third, but only to find out that you worked at the same time, same place, around the same age she was working at Hooters. So sis, you really felt that, you really meant it, and the half-assed apology that you kind of gave, that you really didn't give, was unnecessary, because you turned back right into the same breath and said, yes, basically said what I said and I meant it. But then turn around and be like, oh, it was hormonal though. A lot of times when we hormonal, we don't mean the things we say. But okay, sis. All right. You was mad because that was his potential, and you checked y'all both off that show real quick. So that's what I got for now.
What do I think about them? I mean, they both just kind of look like they were in the sunken place. And I think their relationship is, they're just trying to get by. Personally, she's still not getting what she wants, and I don't even know what he wants or why he's even there. I mean, going back to the situation, do I think that hormones has something to do with it? I do. But I do believe that hormones only usually heighten or escalate what's already naturally there. and her being mean or condescending or demeaning to another woman, I don't think that has much to do with hormones. Now, her elevated response and how it all kind of escalated, that probably did, but she's had 9 months plus to think about it. And if she doesn't have any regrets, and that probably was a defense mechanism that she says she don't care, but if she has no regrets, then that's kind of on her. I do believe that she does have a reason to, not a reason, but I do believe she's right about Rya, not about the Hooters part. But Rya for sure came on there and was not the type of woman that anybody in this comment section, that any of us on this panel will want around our man. Rya was completely just unhinged, not necessarily yet, but I think Lisa could see what type of time Rya was on. She was definitely on a one-way mission, one-way ticket to get away from Trey. What's his dude's name? I think, right? What's his name? Yeah. And I think that made her really, really, really uneasy. And honestly, that's just where she should have left it. Calling her a Hooters bee and all this type of other stuff, that speaks more about you than about him. Because what I would want to know is, why does my man even remotely interested out of all the women here in a young girl working at Hooters? Honestly, maybe that's what he really wants. Maybe he wants something more simple, and that's probably why she was big mad. So I think the whole thing and their whole situation, clearly they're both getting something out of it, but neither one of them are really getting what they want. And her having a baby by this man is not going to move him any closer to what she would like. Honestly, it's probably going to move him farther away now that he has this child, but he's still not ready for marriage. So that energy that she had for the other woman really should be for her man, because her man don't want to marry her still after she put her life on the line to push out a child. And personally, I just cannot relate or understand being in a situation where I want to marry a man and I had a child for this man and he still won't marry me and I'm still sitting there. That's something that I can't relate. Childbirth is too dangerous. It's too serious. Being a parent together is so serious. And if a man still doesn't want to marry you after that, all that energy should be for him. None of that really should be for that other woman. So that's just kind of how I feel. I do agree that since Brian looks scared, he's scared, but he ain't that scared though, because he's still sitting up in that lady face. He still ain't gonna marry her. I don't think he's that big of a victim. Was he a victim on that day when he got mushed? Sure, but he's a willing participant in whatever mess they got going on. So that's kind of what I think.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not gonna disagree on the points that you have about Rya, because it's possibly true. She is young and in her fun age stage. So, and then she was halfway in because part of her was closed off in the first. The other part is, I'm going off over here to go to school, so I don't know what's going to happen with us anyway. So she was open to the possibilities of finding somebody new. And Brian did incite her. But the true issue, like you said at the end, is it's with your man. If you don't trust your man through this process, don't take it out on that woman. That's your man. You went into this process. You brought your man to this process to see what he would do. Let him do what he gonna do. Because that's also the part of the ultimatum that you're given. You have to be willing to say that I potentially could lose you in this process, but I need to see for myself, what type of man do I even have in the first place, or a woman, if I gave the woman the ultimatum. And I got to be open enough to let you go ahead and do you. So I can see if I'm making a good point, a choice of give you an ultimatum, or you even my person. So she should have checked herself, controlled herself, or made sure you set some rules or whatever you want to do with your man prior, instead of going off on that girl. Because you gave everybody an apology on the show except for the person that you actually you didn't assault her, but you insulted her, whether you thought she was going to see it or not. So I don't know. I feel like I see it both ways. Like, yeah, Rya, you was doing a bit too much, but at the same time, Lisa need to control herself and put some faith in her man if she really want him to be her man.
My man. Pause. All right, cool. So, crazy. Yeah, no, I mean, Lisa and Brian, obviously, on the show, they had their issues and their problems. On the, obviously, reunion, they got to have some more conversation. So there was an issue between, well, obviously, Lisa and Brian, obviously, then she did address Rya's situation and said she wasn't sorry for what she actually said about Rya, which was mad enough as it is. You know, it's crazy as I think it was. And I think, what would you guys think, obviously, to the actual situation of Lisa and Rya? Because, you know, Lisa really called her out. I mean, forget, you know, her feeling some type of way about her man, but she called that woman a roach, and, you know, she said basically she's a Hooters bee. But the beef between the two of them, Lisa tried to explain to her on the show, like, hey, look, you know, that was actually something that you shouldn't have been saying. And Lisa doubled down and was like, yeah, well, I said what I said. What's your guys' thoughts towards the interaction between Lisa and Rya in general? You know, what's your thoughts there?
Lisa and Rya were having a lot of conversations off camera or off that didn't make the cut. And what my assumption is that Rya, being young, was telling a lot of stuff to Lisa, and Lisa, being the manipulative type of person that she seems like she is, was listening and gathering information. And Lisa, being older, quickly determined, like all the rest of the people on the show, that is it Rya? My bad. That Rya was for the streets and is still currently for these streets. So once Lisa determined that Rya is for the streets, she got really uncomfortable after she did all of her information gathering that, you know, Rya had locked eyes on her man. So I feel like that's why she's not taking it back, because she feel like she went wrong with how she dressed Rya down, because everything she said about Rya was right. What she missed was, just because you may be saying the truth don't mean it needed to be said. I think that's the part. She talked about she don't take it back. She don't take it back because she still mean it. But it doesn't matter if it's true or not true. She didn't need to say all that. And I think that's the part that she was missing. But was Rya on a one, was trying to escape Trey and go to these streets? Yes, she was. Yes, she 100% was. And should Lisa have been nervous with Rya and Mr. Dangly? Yes, she should have. For sure. You see the way Rya was trying to get down on that white boy? What you think she would have did to Mr. Dangly? I'm just saying. Lisa was scared for good reason, but that don't mean she was right.
I hear you. Any other thoughts? Rya for the streets? Do you agree with what Lisa's deduction of Rya was? Are we agreeing with her?
I don't agree with her full deduction of her calling her a bee and all that, and then saying that she's basically like a moron, a peon. She don't have no sense. She don't have no brain. She don't have no depth. She can't teach Brian anything. Like, okay, you know, all of that was extra. But my thing is, at the end of the day, if you want to stick by it, this was a hormonal thing. Why was it so hard for you just to say, I was in my hormones, I was in my feelings at the time, I didn't really mean what I say, I'm sorry, sis? Like, it's not really hard to give an apology instead of doubling down and saying what you're saying, because at this point, it just looks like your insecurities about your relationship is showing. That's it. Like, you sound real insecure about your relationship. So you need to confront whatever happened in the past with you and your man and why he got you in this position of questioning women that when they come by. Like, if there's tons of women in the streets that's for the streets, your man gonna be around on a daily basis. So you're gonna go down the street and cuss all of the women out, tell them that they this, that, and the third, or whatever, or is it easier just to go ahead and confront your man and get your man in line? I don't know. So she want to run around beating everybody up. Let her do it by all means. I just feel like it's just way more peaceful just to go the other route for me. But I don't know. Seaway in her petty bag, so she like the.
I don't think she's right. I don't think she's right. But she's not going to confront her man because she's afraid of losing her man.
Well, she did confront him now. He got a mush to the head. He got a mush and a couple of F-bombs and some telling off. So everybody got something.
And then the next day she was crying, talking about that pregnancy test. So that wasn't, I mean, she just got mad.
Yeah, because she didn't want to lose him. She addressed him, but she still wants him. She just wants to make sure, like, you know, what Jay was saying, she's insecure about her relationship. So she doesn't want anybody that's going to step on her territory. Because what's she talking about? What's she going to teach you? I'm sorry. Ain't nobody looking for that. That's no badge of honor. That's nothing that anybody is running around here saying, oh, I'm looking for my wife to teach me something.
That's because one of the things that us modern women, and I say us because I'm included, but I don't suffer under this delulu. A lot of modern women think that these men care about your money and they care about your status, and that's what's gonna make them marry you over these broke hoes. No, a lot of them are basic. A lot of them want the broke hoes. They're not moved, and if they're moved by your money, they're just trying to take it. They're just trying to live in your house.
Yeah. There's on the flip side of it, I'm thinking about too, is like with Lisa, I think she's doing this with Rya because she feel like she can get away with it. I think, like, had it been me or you, Seaway, you think she would have actually doubled down and all this stuff?
She was 24. She knew she was 24 and not about that life, which that's why I said that's that bully. She was trying to bully her. She gathered information, knew she was a young girl, knew that, you know, she was more mature, had more life experience than her. Then she sunned her, talking about her. It's okay to be 24 working at Hooters. That's why the 24-year-olds shouldn't even be on the show. You could be 24 working at Hooters. That's where 24-year-olds work. You know what I mean? So they shouldn't even been on the show, to be honest. But I'm not defending what Lisa did. I just think Lisa's one of the people who gonna do whatever to keep her man. But you gonna do all that whooping and hollering and smushing people's faces, but you gonna do everything but leave, do everything but have boundaries, do everything but keep your legs closed and make sure you don't have a baby out of wedlock. So all that yelling and hooping and hollering, it don't matter, because he know at the end of the day, you could do all that yelling, you ain't going nowhere. You gave him an ultimatum, made him, and now you're a baby mama. You deeper, you going the wrong way, sis.
I think she operates from the school of thought, like, if I ain't fussing and tussling, then that means you got to worry. As long as she's fussing and tussling and kicking and screaming and causing problems, that means she's invested in a relationship. She hasn't developed healthy ways of handling conflict or knowing when she needs to exit a situation. And for him, he has absolutely no boundaries, because already his baby mama done mushed him on national TV, and now they're in bliss raising a child together. But notice ain't nobody married. Notice ain't no engagement ring. And when he got the question asked to him, he backflipped, moonwalked right out of that conversation, you know. So he's not the type that's going to be straight up. But trust me, I don't think they're going to be married. And if they are, it's not going to be anytime soon. He's going to make her wait 12 years a girlfriend before that happens. That baby going to be good and grown.
What you say, Sean? He gonna be the ring bearer at the wedding?
That's it. The ring bearer, the best man. He gonna be the best man.
Giving his mama away.
We might as well do it now.
Oh yeah, might as well get married. Huh?
Exactly. They might even have another kid by the time that happens.
That's what the chat is saying.
Listen. Look, I personally think, yeah, right. I think Lisa definitely targeted Rya. I think Lisa just realized that Rya is Brian's type. Okay, Leah is Brian's type, and the problem with Lisa is she's so hell bent on trying to prove her worth, being, and I think Sylvia, you mentioned this, being measured on her being a six-figure woman, and being of some level of intelligence, which is why she kind of hit the low blow with Rhea, saying she's a Hooters chick, because it's like, I'm a six-figure chick, and you wanna be, what you gonna learn from Hooters chick when you can learn something from Roxanne, which, by the way, he ain't gonna learn nothing good from Roxanne. So I don't know why she was trying to sport Roxanne in that space. But she was pushing that narrative towards her, and I think the one thing about people like Lisa is they overestimate their hand, but they actually do understand that someone like Rhea can take their man, because the simplicity of what Rhea offers is that it's simple. It's not. She's not trying to offer nothing crazy. She's not offering nothing complicated. And oftentimes, as men, let me be very honest with you, we do like the simplicity. Okay, Lisa come with a whole lot of baggage. Okay, a whole lot of baggage, and I'm not talking about the six figures or anything like that. I'm talking about the crazy reactional behavior, which after a while becomes detrimental to some. So, as for me personally, I think the brother needs better boundaries. But I will say, there's some DVs thing I was watching in my screen. I'm sorry. Okay, you can't be mushing them in your face. You can't be having rages of fits. Okay, like that. And now, even on that reunion, she was holding his hand like a damn kid. Like, she held his hand like she was like, "Come here, Brian." And you're gonna sit here and you're gonna hold my hand, aren't you, Brian? That's the kind of energy it was on, the way she was holding his hand. So, I just need him to blink twice to know we can save him, and we can go and save him. But if he doesn't blink twice, we're gonna have to let you figure it out. But I can see that you're being emotionally abused, and that was one time mush, but it looks like you might be getting physically abused too, sir. So I'm gonna need him to just double blink so we can help a brother out, because Lisa is gonna turn it up some more. But she definitely did dirty to Rhea. I was disgusted, actually, by the way she treated Rhea, more than her own man, because I think her own man, people do some wild stuff in relationships, and I don't like it. But that's like, sis, that's like, the girl she hadn't even started trying to take your man yet. I mean, she kind of did a little bit, but she hadn't really even gone anywhere. And she's a roach. She's a Hooters chick. You're not gonna learn nothing from her.
She called her a
It's like,
roach. I must have missed
oh,
that.
she called her a roach. Yeah, when she came back in after she had said the Hooters bitch, she came back in the room and said she's a roach.
Oof. People got to learn some self-control. Yeah, but I think Brian is definitely under some level of duress. You notice he was absent that nose ring at the reunion. She told him, she pulled the reverse Kiki Palmer. She's like, "You're a dad. Lose the nose ring. Okay? I'm going to give you the earrings, but you're going, and it's not going to be a dangly one. And you're going to put this suit on, and you're going to lose the goddamn nose ring." Pardon my
I don't see
French.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, he was under heavy duress.
The way she was holding his arm was, she had his whole arm. She didn't have his hand. She had his whole arm, like Derek Jackson had Danaeus. And that they was cuffed over. It was all the way on her side of her lap. I was like, damn, girl, let her. He was like, he had to put his other arm around her just to make it comfortable.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. It was so cringeworthy.
Listen, he likes it. I love it. He just needs to, figure out what he's gonna do.
The rest.
Yeah. Well, listen. Now they got forever together, because he gonna have to deal with her and that baby.
Somebody gonna have to walk up to him with a flash camera and snap it. He too far in the sunken place now. At this point, it's been changed. So y'all just gonna have to flash a camera in this thing, let the light blink in him one time, and see if he pop out.
Damn. So
she got him trained, just like they do those hostage videos. All the right things to say. I am okay. Trust me.
I'm okay.
I love it here. She's like,
don't look for me.
It's like, I dare you.
You remember how your mom used to pinch you underneath, you hold real close to you and pinch you underneath?
Yep, she had a good grip. Yep. She was like, you see what I did on TV, you know what I'll do behind closed doors. Play with me if you want to. She looked like when she doubled down, and then it was like her and Roxanne were having this weird conversation. You know, and then I noticed Roxanne was like, that crazy is more than my crazy. So I'm just going to kind of say, well, I kind of thought you weren't, but, you know, I'm glad for you now. She's like,
oh, so you thought too, just like us.
She's like, I'm a back.
I'm going to ease that back.
Exactly. She was all types of humble pie.
Well, it does say a lot.
The face.
I mean, it does say a lot, actually, about whether if Roxanne herself thought that the pregnancy might have been fake, what chance did we stand? Because if the castmates are thinking that you're faking it, then clearly we weren't off the mile thinking that you're faking it too. So, you know, and that's somebody who's in the process with you, who you call your almost quote unquote your good friend on the show anyway. I think everyone kind of thought that's a bit wild. So, yeah, interesting. I forgot that she even said that. That's a bar. All right. Any last thoughts on Lisa Bryan situation? Okay, fantastic. Let's move it on. All right, cool. So then obviously we had I want to do Alex and Kat, get them out of the way. Alex and Kat, they surprisingly stayed together. And they stayed and actually they set a date for their marriage as well. What's your thoughts on Alex and Kat for the whole situation? Because obviously when they exchanged, Kat went with Antonio, Alex went with Roxanne. It was beautiful while it lasted. Give me your thoughts on Alex and Kat and what you thought about them. Damn.
Alex remind me of that, like that. What's that white man who put his babies in that big tube thing? No, the white man that dropped his babies in that big hot tube that was on first the true crime. You don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't know. Help me. It was like one of those like industrial parks, and he took his 2 kids and he dropped them in the tube in the.
No, just move on. Maybe that's a sign that that's not a good example.
Come back to me. I'm gonna give y'all this name because that's exactly who he remind me of. No, the Chris.
Wait, I might get it. Say it one more time. I might get it. Say it one more time.
Just saying it. Chris Watts. See y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all a real one.
Say again.
He reminds me of Chris. Y'all the realest ones because Sean and Jay don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Chris Watts. He reminds me of that Chris Watts dude. I swear. That is all I could think about the entire show. He is scary. He gives hella sociopath vibes. He just looked like he gonna put that lady in a trunk. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid for him. He just seemed like he was void of emotion. He didn't quite have like real responses. And then I don't even know what's going on with Kat. Something's up with Kat too. She seems aware that she kind of like doesn't have a backbone, and she seems very aware of what she got going on. But he was talking all this big stuff like he didn't need Kat, like he was too good for Kat. And then at the end, he gonna marry her. I'm all over the place. Yeah. I'm not really all over the place. I just couldn't think of that man's name. But if you know the story of Chris Watts and then you look at Alex, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm saying. Don't put her
Are you saying he looks like him? Are you saying he looks like the man? Like his face resembles him?
He acts like that man.
Oh.
That man was being normal when the police came, and he had took his 2 babies and put them in a big hot cylinder thing. at an industrial park, but acting normal, like acting like real normal. Like that's what that man.
We didn't see the actual man. Now, did you? Did they show him, or was it an actor?
Oh, they showed the actual man in the story, but the actor looks just like the man.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But like in the story, they flash back to the actual body cam of the police when they go to the house looking for the kids. And the body cam. And Chris Watts, the actor, looks just like Chris Watts who did it, who reminds me of Alex from this season. Very scary, very frightening. That man just don't seem right. So I don't know. I wish old girl Kat the best, and I hope she don't end up like that lady, like Chris Watts' wife. That's all I got.
All right. What's that? What is that sound effect you're playing, Kojo?
I don't know where Seaway took us to. She had us on a true crime. She had us on a true crime.
I was trying to just at least get some clarity because
I want to know how she decided to say that Alex looked like a serial killer, but the person who has sociopathic tendencies, who's mushing people in the face, didn't even get the same harsh treatment.
You know, she's always going to empathize with the wayward woman.
That's too different.
I will never have Seaway on the lineup.
You know she's going to empathize with the wayward woman. So why would you even bother tussling with her about? At least she stayed quiet. At least she stayed quiet when you called her abusive.
If Lisa takes somebody out, she doing it in broad daylight in front of everybody. You don't need to do no investigation, okay? But what I'm saying about this dude is he remind me of the Chris Watts dude. Like he looked like he'd be smiling in your face, and whole time he done took out his whole family and have his weird family cover it up. Did you see that weird family? They look like they would cover up the whole crime scene. They look like they would be doing the search parties with him whole time. I'm serious.
I think we can just agree that they're both very dangerous because there's plenty of people that are wild and erratic and wreak havoc, and then there's people that behind the scenes wreak havoc as well. But yeah, Kojo, you know how it is. At least she didn't fight you when you said she's abusive, because then that could have been a whole nother rabbit hole. So you gotta take your W's where you can take your W's.
I definitely wasn't fighting that.
See,
definitely wasn't fighting that. That lady, she mushed somebody on TV. So what am I supposed to fight? What am I supposed to say?
We had other folks running around like stick figures and stealing luggage and carrying on.
I want to say for the folks in the comments who've actually watched the Chris Watts documentary, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, he's just like Chris Watts. You got it. You were gonna drive this point home like nobody's business. We got it. We totally understand. And you got about 5 or 6 of them in the comments that know what you're saying too. So yes, please.
Oh snap. She said the Chris was. That's okay. Yes, anyone else for Alex and Kat? What their thoughts were on them?
Okay, so Alex and Kat, very interesting couple. It's so funny that Seaway would think Alex is a serial killer when I be thinking Kat the whole time when she like this.
It could be one too at this point. I'm scared of both of them.
She just be smiling like
she be like
agreeing. She was agreeing with Roxanne. She's like, that's what I have to work on. Agreeing, listening and agreeing.
Listening and agreeing. I was like, but like she'd be like so that was freaking me out a bit. But I had noticed something during the interaction with Roxanne and Alex. Alex is not as driven and motivated as he thinks he is. And I think that's what attracted him to Roxanne. because he wants to be as driven and motivated and work steady as she is or whatnot. But she was out here putting it on blast that he around there just laying around the house, taking breaks and playing video games and doing this, that, and the third. And I do agree that Kat might not push him as much as he might like to be pushed, but I also do feel like she's a better balance. She's kind of a balance that he does need, because she will be supportive and motivated to anything that he wants to do. And I don't know if that's the only thing I wish that their parents would give more of a dynamic of how their independent entrepreneurial relationship worked together as a team, so we can actually see what actual fit he's looking for. Because I don't know what balance. They say that they work together and they were this and that as entrepreneurs, but was it just the dad's dream and the mom fell into it and started working with him, or is it the mom's dream and this, that, the third? Because I know people that do entrepreneurial work and the partner just assist where they can. So I would like to know a little bit more of that dynamic so I can kind of understand what he's actually looking for in the relationship and why he feels Kat wasn't that person to start with in the first place. Because she seemed very supportive. Of course, she's going to go with anything, regardless if she agrees with it on the inside or not. She's just going to be saying yes, yes, yes. And maybe he wants a person that is just not a yes man. That's the other flip side. Maybe that's why he's not so sold on Kat, because she is yes, yes, and just goes with everything. And he might want somebody to challenge him in that type of form. So I think that's where she needs to excel and grow in, as being able to have her voice, say her piece, and not just agree with everything that people say, regardless if on the inside she feels that they're lying or whatever the case may be. But I was tickled when he tried to warn Antonio. When he tried to warn Antonio, because he was doing it with good intentions, but some of the stuff he was saying, it was off the rockers, because Roxanne didn't say half of that stuff that he said. But it was his interpretation, and he stood by that. That was his interpretation of what he got, but he was no lie there. Besides that, when we get to Antonio and them, because that's where I really have all the beef with Roxanne and Antonio on that side. But he tried to warn him. He tried to give him bro code, like, yo, I've been with your girl for a couple of weeks now, and she ain't your girl. He didn't want to take it. On the flip side, when Roxanne tried to do that, I was like, girl, why don't you stop lying? That man is not trying to have no kind of relations with you and stuff like that. Like, but then again, you know, them serial killers, they be doing anything we won't expect. So,
wow.
If she would have went, he would have went.
That's what I said. They'll do anything sometimes. So we just don't know. I don't know, but I didn't get the vibe. I didn't get the vibe that he would have went. And I definitely know he didn't say have that stuff like she was trying to say. I think she would have went if he would have gave it to her. If he would have gave her the option, Roxanne would have went.
Absolutely.
Y'all don't think he would have went?
Nope. He had no intention of ever going. He had no intention of ever going. Trust me, man. That guy likes to play as well, man. You know what I mean? And, you know, just want to, shout out to you, Jay, as well, because I think a lot of things you were saying, I was seeing what you're saying, especially the parents. I personally think the mum is more stronger than the dad, his parents. I think the reason why he's never chosen a woman like that and why he chose a Kat is because of how dominant his mum is to his dad. The dad looked absolutely chill. He's very it doesn't look like he's being abused or anything. I'm not saying that at all, but more of a, like, he looks more chilled, and the mum is far more assertive. Like, if you watch the mum and dad interactions with the couple, the mum was the one that was doing all the talking, all the interactions, all the questioning, all the firing out. And sometimes as an individual who's the son underneath that, when you sometimes see that, you might want to go for the opposite of what you saw. Sometimes you just treat you like, maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe you don't like the way that dynamic hits you. You might go for the complete opposite, because Kat is no what the mum is. Do you know what I'm saying? Roxanne will be a closer fit to what the mum is. I'm not saying Roxanne as like the mum, but Roxanne will be a closer fit to what the mum is. And it was interesting that the mum didn't like Roxanne. I was looking at the mum like, maybe you ain't too far away from her, the way you taking over this conversation.
Yeah, but she don't want to have, because she knows that Roxanne is not going to bow down.
That's true.
And kiss the ring. So she's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with this other one, because I can trust her, and I know she's going to be easy breezy.
That's a good point. I was gonna say you can go on if you want to go, Sean. If you want to continue, you can continue.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna add that I thought it was really gangster of him to really have that conversation with what's the old boy that's with Roxanne? What's his name?
Antonio.
Antonio. Yeah, I thought that was super gangster for him to just put it out there like that. And it happened to be the truth, you know. I think that being with her, and I think there's something to, like, you know, we'll see, like, men like to chase a little bit. And with Roxanne, she wasn't giving him much of a chase. I think there was no chase, no conquest with her, because the first time they were like, oh, you know, and maybe she just meant like, oh, we got to make sure the bed is comfortable. But it's an innuendo nonetheless when they just moved in the house. And she was like, let's test out the bed. And he was like kind of sitting back and watching her.
Yep.
So I think for him, he was like, yeah, I'm good on this. You know, as much as it is, even when she was with her parents and talking about the both of them being entrepreneurs, he didn't seem so excited to be having her do the same thing or be in the same league as he is. It was just kind of like, yeah, you know, making it up as he went along. So I don't think, as much as they chose each other, I think this season with the ultimatum, people made the safest choice. And nobody, from what we saw, broke any one boundary. Nobody did.
Absolutely.
Nothing. Nobody did. So I think they just went safe and was like, yeah, we're not messing up our happy homes. We're not even going to entertain anybody else. We're going to go with the safe option and just kind of coast along until it's time to move along.
Well, Rhea would have went with the unsafe option had her unsafe option not been exited off.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We'd have seen that.
Well, maybe not after, you know, old girl cussed her clean out. She might have been a little scared. Because, you know, she'd have been at that door. She'd have been at the door like, what?
Tell me again.
She'd have been running down the street like Antonio was. Like,
just a sec, running the way.
running with Antonio.
Antonio was sprinting from block to block, you know.
Say what?
Yeah, was running.
That was another thing too. Like, that I kind of think Roxanne would have been the one that went for it, because she had to make up a reason why Alex was such a bad person. Like that little lie, oh, he lied about opening doors. He's going to tell my parents that he opened doors and do all this stuff like that when he don't. It's like, maybe he opened the door too. You made sure he opened the door when he came up in here. So he's only thinking, yeah, I opened doors. I'm not saying, oh, I opened all doors, but I opened doors. Yeah, I do the little simple things here and there or whatever. So it wasn't like a total lie. And she went to making it all the way like it was this big old thing. Like, oh, he's been lying to my parents. He's that and the third. But you won't tell your man what you tell everybody else about your man. And then low-key backhandedly tell your man the stuff. Oh, well, I did say what I said, but I ain't say it like that. Like how they saying it. So I'm just like, I don't know. I can't trust you, sis. I trust the mom texting. The mom is another one. I agree. Who said that? See where you shine. That the mom is like, yeah, no, I can't manipulate this one. So let me get Kat back on the line.
It was like, yo, I gotta make sure I keep this one on check. Kat can do whatever I wanted to do, which she did. She texted Kat, and Kat went and told, oh boy, go and get your girlfriend back because we don't want her in this family. You know, so yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. And someone mentioned about the fact that Roxanne's parents are the opposite of what we saw with Alex's parents, right? So like Roxanne's parents, the dad is more assertive, he's definitely more chatty, definitely asking a lot of questions. Yeah, go for it, Jay.
But even though the dad was assertive, if you notice that everything he was saying is directed to the mother-in-law. So respecting the mother-in-law, he's just well groomed.
Yeah,
he's presented to be the lead, the front or whatever and stuff. But at the same time, we got to make sure we respect the mother-in-law. You got to make sure you do this. If we come over, and it was from we to if the mother come over, you got to make sure that you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You got to be present. You got to be respectful. You got to do all this stuff. So even though he was more vocal, it was still ran through what the mom feels about a lot of things. So he might be the breadwinner or whatever, but you know how some of them families used to be like, oh, he makes the money, but I'm the one who controls it. So it's giving me that type of relationship between them. And it could be
Right.
cultural. I don't know what her full background is, but I know some cultures you do have to, you walk into the house, the mother-in-law must be addressed and stuff. It's just a sign of respect. So I understood the dad on that part too, like depending on what culture it is.
Good point.
Sorry,
Right.
Alex. It's my dog. My dog, yeah, I know she got a collapsed trachea. So I got to give her medicine, actually. Let me go do that.
No, I definitely understand that. So I'm definitely understanding that as well. That's a good point to think about from Alex and Kat's perspective. But no, I think I think with I think Alex and Kat, aside obviously Kat's working on herself to try and not be so agreeable as she said. I think that's a good point. That the thing that was missing probably for Alex the whole entire time was her not being so agreeable and her actually stating her opinion and her actually having a backbone. And because as men as well too, just like when women stay with men who are yes men, when men stay with women that are yes man, there's also that frustration too, that I just want you to not be able to say yes. I don't want you to disagree with everything, but I want you to be able to have your own mind a little bit, you know what I mean? Challenge me, if you see something else, do say something different, you know what I mean? So yeah, but yes, Kat did stand up to Roxanne. She made sure Roxanne knew, not only on the reunion, she let her know, listen, hey, you can't just talk about my man like that, okay? You ain't gonna talk about my mans like that. And actually, she did it. She did stand up as well with Antonio. When Antonio was on the phone trying to chat, she told her, hey, I hear you from the room. I need you to pipe down on that chat that you're talking about my mans, okay? Because with my mans, we don't do that. And I had to appreciate that, because she could have left that and been like, well, I was in the other room, I heard it, but I'm not on the conversation. But she was like, hey, I overheard what you said, and I'm gonna say it back from over this side. Keep my man's name out your mother in ass. I shouldn't say ass. I should have said mouth. But
Kat turned into Keisha real quick, didn't she? She was like, not in this house, not my man's. My man's. He mine's, and I'm gonna stick by him.
You better not say that.
She was going hard. She was like, with the smile on her face, Mom's ain't gonna lie. Like, his mom is not gonna lie. That's my man. No. No. No, I don't think so. That's why I was like, Kat giving me a little. She was giving me a little Harley Quinn. I was like, ooh, y'all might leave Kat alone.
You ain't gonna get me. I'll tell you this now. She's gonna let you know. Hey. Don't let me gather you up. Okay. Don't let me gather you up. All right. That's my man's. Anyway, last thoughts on Alex and Kat before I move it on? Okay, cool. No one's saying anything. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one then. Let's go to James and Ryann. James and Ryann. That was interesting. Okay. James and Ryann. They decided to say yes on decision day. But I want to get your thoughts. James and Ryann on this season. What was your thoughts? Okay, what was your thoughts? James and Ryann, what was your thoughts? Because this was an interesting match. There was a lot of crazy things that happened. People were breaking glasses. People were shouting. People were saying, I don't like when your hands move like this. There was a lot of things that were going on. He confessed that his parents, his mom wasn't really looking after him the way he needed to. There's a lot of things that were going on. Talk to me, people. Talk to me, people. What are we saying about James and Ryann? Huh? What are we saying? Who wants to take the first hit of this particular couple? Now, don't be all shy. Don't be all shy now, guys. Okay, don't be all shy. Okay, don't all chomp at the. Let me not say that before I have to say pause. But fine, I'll choose somebody. Seaway, thank you, Seaway. Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna have me go first after the way y'all talked about me and did me, with Chris Watts.
We're gonna talk about you regardless. I don't understand what you're talking about. You better go first.
How we did you? You did that to yourself.
No, you want me to go first? I'll let y'all have y'all opinion. Y'all talking about I'm all over the place.
What is the difference? You ain't still gonna talk about you Seaway with you first.
You know, Seaway gonna Seaway. I'll go. It's okay.
Go for it, Sean.
Who are we talking about? Alex and
Exactly. Don't even know who we talking about.
James and Ryan.
Oh, now you want to chime in. Now you want to go? You want to help me? Who? Ryan and James?
What?
Oh, that's those are the real country people that were together
James?
since they were like 16.
Yo, Rick, Ryan, and who?
Look, I slept my way through each and
Tina
every
Marie
one of
and Rick James.
episodes. So yeah, he's a little weird to me. I'm sorry. He's definitely he threw me for a curveball. You know, it looks like they're gonna make it work, but I really think they're too young. You know, and he's highly emotional, a little unstable. I think that it was a little weird when he said his hall pass is Ryan Reynolds. I thought that was a little strange, but he said he just wants to talk to him. Very weird. He also made another weird comment about how he has a big butt, you know, so he kind of throws me off. And then he winds up being like 50 Shades. So James got a lot to him, you know. James definitely got a lot to him. And Ryan, she's sweet as a can of peaches, but I think she's also another one that's lost in the sauce. You know, her and the other gal, what's her name? The one we were just talking about. Who? What's the name?
Kat.
Right? Yeah. Her and Kat, they're in the same league to me, but you know, Kat's just a little older than Ryan. But they're gonna get married, you know. And listen, he proposed twice, so maybe he turned over a new leaf. And then lastly, his mama cracked me up when she was like, I wouldn't be waiting around for no 7 years. And then she made that comment, you know, listen, she can find another swinging beep. I told you earlier, Kojo, that mama threw me for a curveball. She's a funny lady. And yeah, those are my thoughts.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, Jay.
Well, since we're bringing up shows that nobody knows the characters too, I'm gonna go ahead. Since Sean said something about him and his extroverted bedroom life, he reminds me of the dad off of this what is that? Euphoria. The dad off Euphoria. I know y'all not gonna know who it is, but the dad had a secret life that he was living while he was in high school. But he married his high school sweetheart because they got pregnant and carried on, and he kind of regretted the rest of his life and the choices, not because of not because of the kid life per se, but just knocking her up so young and having to marry her so he couldn't live his actual life. That's what James was kind of giving me a lot of. He's not going to be happy in this marriage. They'll get married. He's not going to fully be happy. And he's going to give her hell. And it's a number of reasons why he's not going to be happy either. One, he needs grief therapy. His mom does too. They lack emotion, like real bad, of telling each other emotions, because even the mom being so just distant when she made that same comment that Sean was talking about, it was funny as heck. But that's just how her personality is. It's just like, I'm not going to be attached to anybody. So I'm going to find something else. I'm not going to wait around for nobody, this and that and the third. However, there's an Oedipus complex because she's waiting around for her son to do this, that, and the third for her. He's her only child. And like when they had that conversation about him not wanting to go down a certain path as far as the career is concerned, he wants to start a family. He wants to have this wife and everything like that. She was so disappointed in her face. So she's been planning his whole life. And I think that's what his issue, one of his biggest issues is that he has no control of his life. And so he in turn says he does harm to himself to try to find some form of control, to not feel the pain that he's feeling on the inside. So I think him personally, and it's not to joke around with this couple at all, because he needs a lot of therapy. He needs to get over a lot of things that he's been holding in and had nobody to talk to. Being an only child sometimes and going through a lot of stuff, and you don't have nobody bounce anything off of, that's a lot. And for you just now to tell your wife, and that was a part of the issue that Rya got, is that you were so open with Rya to be able to share that background with her, but you couldn't tell this woman that you've been with since you were 16-year-old how you really feel about a lot of stuff. So before we get all hoopty-doo about, well, you got a wedding date in like 24 days, I would suggest that you let that man go ahead through therapy, get him a few, like a year or two under his belt, and then proceed from there. Because you don't know what you're going to get on the other end of that. Him and his mom need to do that therapy together. Ryann sounds like such a sweet girl. And they just give me that couple, that old small town couple that just, they don't know about nobody else, a football player with a cheerleader girlfriend, and they get married or whatever. But over time, their life is in content. Nobody's happy because they're not actually living their dreams. And I think that she should just go ahead and take some time to find herself. You know, of course, you want to be like, oh, that's my high school sweetheart. We got married. We did this and that and the third. But sometimes I say, well, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's meant to be with you. So sometimes you just got to let it go and just see how the cards fall later on. But what did the cards say?
You trying to play with them spiritual bots again?
See, I didn't say nothing. I just asked what the cards say after they threw them in the air and let them fall.
No, they sent them bots. I ain't trying to have them bots come back. Ryann should have took her out when she had it. To be honest, she seems absolutely exhausted. That scene where they were up all night going back and forth crying, I think we've all been there. But that scene was kind of triggering. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that, just up and down crying, not going to sleep, trying to work it out but can't. And she just kept on saying, like, I just don't have it for you. Like, what you need from me, I can't provide. His level of trauma and whatever secrets he got to him, whatever he hiding, I'm not going to insinuate, but we don't know what he hiding. Them getting married is just gonna make them early divorcees, and then they just gonna have to get it right on their second time if they decide to get married. It's gonna be like a Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey thing. Like, y'all really just shouldn't be married. And I really feel like Ryann is only going through with it because she feel like she should. Cause the way she was talking when she finally got that little taste of freedom, she wanted out. I could tell she wants out. She should take her out. Because that man, it has dark eyes and it's a lot of darkness with him, and he really needs to figure that out. And they're both too young to be getting married anyway. So I don't know if there was a lack of available people, but why they would have this depressed man with all these issues on this show and these 24-year-olds on this show is beyond me. They don't need to be married.
Nothing to add, Sean?
Oh, I went already. I mentioned about, his some of his freaky deaky activity he had going on, and I talked about the mama being real strong.
Okay.
That's it. I think like Seaway said, like Jay said, he's got a lot to me. It seems like there's some darkness with him, and I don't know if anybody mentioned it, but he kept alluding to there were so many things that Ryann doesn't know. That to me was very strange because I don't know if any of that stuff came out yet. And he just seemed like he was like that failure to launch kind of person, right? He's like trying to find himself. He's trying to figure out what his next steps are. He's not ready to get married. They are actually young. Then he said he cheated on her before. Then he said she wasn't his first love or his only love or true love or something like that. Yeah, he just kept throwing a lot of things out there. And I'm really hoping that, because sometimes this will happen, right? Because it's obvious he cares about her. But sometimes we get so scared that we feel like we have to fall, we just have to do what we don't really want to do so that we don't lose the person. And to me, that's what I see more of with James, than he's actually ready to be married, because his behavior is all over the place and very erratic, So there's that.
Good points. Any last words on James and Ryan? Okay. All right, cool. Let's talk then. Let's talk obviously then our favorite couple, Roxanne and before we do, James and Rya, their situation real quick. Just want to get you guys' thoughts. She wanted him to hold her hand. He said, "I'm not fucking you," and said, "That's my level of intimacy." What's you guys' thoughts on the James and Rya situation, their little argument that they had earlier on in the season, which actually after that, he didn't really open up at all after that with her. So what's your thoughts on James and Rya and their situation? Go for it, Siwe.
I think it's Rya. I keep saying it wrong.
Is it Rya?
But,
Rya? Okay.
She's full of crap. Rya wanted James to go after her and give her some attention and at least pretend like he was gonna give her that thing. I'm not saying she was 100% gonna take it, but she at least wanted to fight him off a little bit. She wanted to be like, oh no. She wanted to do that a little bit. She didn't want no hug. Rya was for them streets. There's really no two ways about it. She was over here pretending like she wanted a hug. Then after he wouldn't give her a hug, she go get to crying to her man who's a complete simp. And then he over here trying to cuddle her and she's full of it.
He'd like to follow off that riveting breakdown. Thank you, Jay.
Well, what I'm supposed to say? See what I said, all this craziness. Like, what the hell? This was a simp. This one's a pro. This one.
She said a lot.
But I was not mad in that moment. Like, I'm here to have the experience, regardless if you want to think I'm from the streets or whatever and stuff like that. I didn't bring myself here. My man brought me here. That's on him. Okay. Like, if he didn't know what he got, he gonna find out today. So please touch me, hug me. We're here for that full experience of something. I didn't understand though why she kept trying to pressure it. Like, if he keeps saying that if I touch you, I look at going here. Don't touch me because I ain't trying to go there with you. So that's where I agree with you on Seaway. Like, girl, just stop pressuring him. I know you want the full experience and you want to kind of have the full experience so you can compete with Trey about it. So you can have something to say back to him who's over here making an emotional connection with Ryan and all this. But let it go. If he's saying that if I get physical and I touch you and I lay hands on you, that means sex to me. And you don't want sex? Okay, well, you don't have to touch me. You don't have to do any of this to me. Like, because I'm definitely not going there. So I get part of it because my love language is physical touch. And I just assume maybe that's what her love language might be too. So I get where she wants the hug, the hold hands or whatever, at least something. She want to catch some type of spark of something. But she definitely probably would have went full round with Brian, whatever Brian wanted to do.
If that was a man doing that, that would be sexual harassment. That would be harassment.
Yeah.
That was a man. She put so much pressure on that man. That made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I agree. When you keep going back and forth and he's clearly telling you, I understand you're trying to tell him that, no, I don't mean it as far as you take it. But if you're not moving from where you and to some understanding of what I'm trying to say, well, let's leave it alone. I'm not about to start crying about it or whatever, but I don't know. I would say she was giving cancer vibes, but we're here with one, so I don't want the emotional moment.
Oh, talking about Kojo? Kojo ain't never done that, though.
I know.
He ain't never. That'd be a bad example.
Right, Kojo, like, oh, you ain't gonna touch me? Okay, well.
He'd be like, bye.
You ain't gonna about me.
Bye.
You ain't gonna
Bye. We ain't wasting no time around there.
You don't want me, then don't talk to me.
Go
That's
ahead
it.
and free yourself.
I ain't trying to figure it out, and I'm not trying to find out. I'm not trying to save nobody. You told me you ain't touching it. Oh, we ain't touching. Oh, let's get out of here.
Listen, I don't know why I think he was just scared, and I think once he started talking about all that kinky stuff he's into, probably once he opens that door, he gonna want to tie her up, wrap her up, flog her up, So maybe he was like, I don't think you're ready. And he know what he got at home. She ready. She been tolerating it, and she likes it, because listen, Rya said she piped up. She was like, she never had to fake nothing. So she was, pretty pleased in the bedroom. So there's that. But yeah, I would have definitely cuddled with her. Sometimes a good cuddle. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but he's already cheated though, hasn't he? So he's already cheated in the past.
Well, then technically not cheating because they are enjoying,
I know, but technically won't cover. Technically won't cover when Ryan looks at you and goes, "I can't look at you anymore because technically you cheat without me."
What y'all think about Sally's comment?
I'm ignoring it on purpose. So.
I'm not involved in that because he did say about he wanted to. What did he say? What did he say? What rod did he want? He wanted a certain type of rod.
Yeah. He didn't say he wanted it. It just came out in conversation.
Yeah. Oh. I hear where you're going though, Sean. He's cheated in the past, so maybe he don't want to open that door of guilt in himself. Maybe that's another thing he hasn't told her, that he's actually cheated. I guess.
He didn't tell her, so she wasn't aware?
I don't know. He never made it seem like she knew or not. So.
Because wasn't he punching the air too? Like, he got a lot going on.
I feel like he was punching some walls that same night when he had to go for the run or whatever, because his knuckles was quite red. Now, granted, they pigmentation, they can pick up color a lot easier for different reasons, but just the knuckle area, like these little areas right here, were all red when I looked at it. So I'm just like,
yeah, I don't know. I think because then I guess he saw from when he had that conversation about foreplay and all that other stuff, and then her eyes lit up.
Yeah, then she was ready. She wanted to see what was to him.
She was like, "Ooh."
She's like, "Shoot, I read 50 Shades now. You want to sign a contract?"
He talked all that talk, then didn't want to hold her hand. And
he didn't want to follow through.
Do I need to IG you a video?
No. I think she can, just hit the Googler.
Yeah, just Google it.
Yeah, just Google it, baby girl.
Oh, jeez.
And it's different.
So, yeah, these two. Again, I think they should be the ones waiting until 2025 or 26, whenever, Rya and Trey are getting married. They need to be kicking that can down the court. They need to kick that can just like you do every year that you say you're going to settle down.
Oh, you talking about Kojo?
He's been kicking that can since 2020.
he been kicking that
can. We're going to settle down eventually, guys.
It's been kicked.
Eventually. Hey, he like Brian at this point. I'm locked in. I ain't going nowhere, but ain't gonna be no time frame on this either.
Because when that bucket hat come back, it's over with.
Trust me, you already know what season it is when bucket hat comes out, baby.
Now I got me a bucket hat thanks to Jay.
I saw that.
Well, Kojo, this is how you know you need to bring the bucket hat back, because you have folks in your channel not knowing this is a Christian channel.
I know.
You need to look. God's trying to tell you something. You need to bring that bucket hat back.
Let him delay what he's telling me.
God is trying.
I'm for these streets.
Tell you
for these streets.
God is trying to tell you.
Don't you worry about that.
That color purple.
You want to put it on the payment plan? You want to delay it a little bit?
Don't worry about that little plan. Listen, 2024. Let me enjoy the streets a little bit. It's warm out there.
You get people the extension on the streets.
Let me even head to Houston to go and see what's saying. We should go to Miami, guys. Maybe we should go to Miami. Go where the beach is at.
We should, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
So it might be Miami then. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, can hit the beach.
Take me somewhere basic.
then you can see the ladies in their true form.
I want to be basic.
Don't know what that means. But I know what you mean.
In their bikinis.
Oh, I know. I was winding. There's no bucket hat on there. That's why. But all right, cool. James and Rhea done. Then let's talk a little bit then about Roxanne and Antonio. Roxanne. In fact, no. I leave that to last. I think that's the main big one. Trey and Rhea. What is the situation with them? Talk to me about Trey and Rhea. What's your thoughts? Because should he move to Atlanta? That's the question. Should he enter the Atlanta Cele? Talk to me, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he should not, and he need to just cut it out because we know that woman don't want him. She don't want him.
She won't.
Mm-mm.
What she won't?
She wants to be taken care of and then get her freedom. She wants to be independent, but then dependent. She want to be for the streets, but maybe just the side streets, not the full streets. That's what it seems like. She wants to. She's young. She's 24. So I think they're at two different places in their lives, and to me, it still doesn't seem like she really wants to be fully married. She's not ready for it. Their wedding date says it all, because she's trying to sell us that 2025 is going to be right around the corner. She said that about 5 to 10 times. 25, it'll be here before we know it. It'll be here before we know it. No, ma'am, it's in 2 years. It's in probably two and some change from whenever this reunion was filmed. So it's quite a bit of time. But, listen, I hope they work out. But if I was a betting man, something going to happen between now and 2025. That's for sure.
Appreciate it, Sean. Who wants to go next? Talking obviously about Rhea and Trey. Should he, Rhea and Trey, should he continue the relationship with Rhea, knowing, that she might have wanted Brian, and also knowing the fact that he probably isn't as compatible as they were before? Yes, T-Way.
Trey gotta wake up. I don't know what's wrong with this child. I have no idea. But he keep going down this path of doofus land. He's gonna get everything that he got coming to him. I don't know why he can't see what's going on with Rya. Everybody else can see what's going on with her. I don't know what's wrong with him. And I mean, you can't help people who don't want to be helped. So if he want to spend his money and save this girl from the streets and do whatever, that's on him. Honestly, this doesn't make any sense. I personally just don't like just this type of brand of stupid. So it's really hard for me to think anything about Trey at this point. If he still want to marry Rya after everything that he done seen, then I there's nothing I can say about him. This world is full of smart people and dumb people. So I don't know which one he is for sure, but we'll know if he walks down that aisle, and that's all I got to say about it. She ain't got no business in Atlanta. What's she going to Atlanta for? To be a bottle girl? To do what? Why would you take your good man to Atlanta?
She said it was for school, though. I thought that's what she said. She was going for school.
A year for school?
I don't know. I thought she said school. I don't know what she said.
No, she said she just wants to be able to live in the city, in the city of Atlanta for 1 year before she settles down and kind of experience the big city life.
Oh, okay. I thought she said something about school. Okay.
Should have went to college in the city.
So she just wants some in life. She want to experience some life. Okay. Well, she's still young. That's what I'm gonna go with, because y'all complain about these people being young anyway. So she's still young, and she does want to experience some life and some rights. That's fair. And if he want to wait for her, that's on him, because she wants to have some of her life. You know, sometimes we can't be selfish with people, what they want to do or whatnot, and try to hold them hostage against what they really want, because all they're going to have is resentment and regret at the end of the day, and they're going to take it all out on you. And so if he don't want that burden, just let her go have her thing and do whatever she wants. He don't have to move with her. He can stay where he's at and continue to do what he's doing, or he can follow her down there and they figure it out. But at the end of the day, she'll make a better decision once she has her freedom. So just let her have it and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. You know, I think with these two, I think Trey likes her so much he's willing to do anything he can to keep her. And that's a dangerous place to be in, because that can be used against you, that can be manipulative, that can turn into a whole fiasco after. You need to let your no's be no and yes be yes. You know what I'm saying? No confusion. And I think with Trey and Rya, there's a lot of confusion in terms of like what they want to do, the timescales when they're going to do it. Yeah, there's a lot of that confusion as well. So that doesn't help your situation too, because you got a lot of things that are kind of exasperating your situation a little bit, or adding fuel to the fire in a sense, right? And with Trey and Rya, how you say it, Rya again? I think what was key was the fact that I just don't think she actually likes him. So I think it makes everything else 10 times hard. And so for me, watching Rya, even when she was with Brian, that would seem like more her speed. Trey doesn't seem to be her speed. And I wonder why that is, because he seems ready to be in a relationship, ready to get married, and yet she doesn't feel like she's in that space. It feels like she's in the space of, I'm trying to explore and find out new things. And I would love for you to be there back when I come back, but there's no guarantee. But I think definitely, I feel like she's feeling like, you know, if those trees weren't there, I would be fine. But the reality is, yeah, they're there, and they're there for a reason, you know. And so I think with Trey, I think he just needs to really assess and slow it down and reassess the situation with Rya, like deep it 100%, and not just get attached by feelings. Yes, she might hurt her feelings by saying no more, but she would have saved herself a lifetime of worries and pain, heartache. You know. Any other thoughts on Trey and Rya? Okay. Let's talk about the main attraction, Roxanne and Antonio. Roxanne and Antonio, yes. Okay. Talk to me, Antonio. Retanio. Talk to me.
These two might as well just stay together. I don't care what nobody say about this. These two might as well stay together, because his delusion works for her type of bossiness. Okay, she wants to be in her boss bag, and she wants to live like men do, CEO men do, have their options of cakes and pies and all of these other things that she wants to devour. She wants to be able to do it, and he gonna stand by it, because clearly he been doing it all this time. When he sat there and said that after Alex told him what she felt about him, oh, men has done this before. They've always told me that she says this and that or whatever and stuff like this. This is not the first time. That just lets me know that you ain't trying to go nowhere. You don't have no self-respect. You don't have no self-love. And so you're going to stay right here and be what Alex called your whipping boy, because that's all you are to her. She still doesn't she still doesn't value you. The fact that you got your own business now, she's like, oh, well, I had that dream like some years ago, but it's over it. And what it was giving me in that moment is that she funded your business so you can have something. This is probably not even your thing. You're probably actually really good at it now that you got it, but it's given that she had to put the front on it. She's still a provider. She's still this. So you're still not what she wants. And I just need Antonio to figure out that you need to go find yourself, find whatever it is that you actually really want out of life. Stop living in this lady's shadow, because she's like, if there's no respect there, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you should be with anybody that doesn't respect you, period. And she does not respect you in a way that is healthy and beneficial to you or the relationship. She took off the ring like a day after And then she gonna have the nerve to sit on this platform and tell us, oh, she doesn't feel comfortable wearing rings with a handful of rings. She had more rings than freaking Scottie Pippins, Michael Jordan, and what's the coach name? Phil Jackson all together. Like, what are you talking about right now? You got rings all over your body and you don't feel comfortable wearing his wedding ring or any of the 2 other ones that he got you, not even on a necklace. Like, knock it off. You don't want marriage. You don't want that man. Yes, Alex might have opened you up to the ideal of finding you an entrepreneur husband, but you don't want any of that. You don't want kids. You don't want any of that life. You like being able to get up and go and do what you want to do. And you just need to go ahead and tell that man, this is what I want to do. If you want to be one of mine on the roster, so be it. But I'm going to have this, that, and the third. I can more than likely guarantee that man is probably going to stay around regardless. He might chase off a few of your potentials, but he's not going nowhere. He's not going nowhere. You done came back and put it on him after your trial marriage. So that's on you, sis. So, yeah, that's all I got. I don't know where the rest of y'all at, but...
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you on those two. I think unfortunately he seems to, just be willing to take whatever she's kind of dishing out. And even when he proposed, she seemed super hesitant. She seemed like she was gonna say no. And she was crying and acting all nervous. So I can't really tell. And they don't have a wedding date in sight. She's not wearing her ring.
Well, she even said she feel weird calling him fiance a year later.
Yeah, so I think this is just another example of pushing a square to a circle. And look, if you got to drag a woman down the aisle, no bueno, don't do it.
Because if she runaway bride,
exactly, don't do that. You drag, and especially her. She's very independent, financially stable, and you trying to drag her down the aisle to make her convince her that she wants to be married. He's asking for a world of pain. Because even if she does, she's already a menace.
She don't want to get married to that boy. She sees too much weakness in him. She can't trust him. Like, there's a really good dialogue between her and Alex in the episode where she's saying she wants to be able to relax. She wants to be able to give it up. She wants to be able to rely on someone else. She just can't do that with Antonio. And she's really driven. So she needs somebody else who's as driven as her or financially stable, so much well that she can just say, okay, I don't have to work or I don't have to do this, and then she can actually relax. But she can't do that with Antonio, unfortunately, and I think that's part and a parcel of Roxanne not wanting to marry him, because she was quick to change her mind when she met Alex. She changed her mind within like less than 24 hours. She said, this is the guy I've been talking to, and he's making me look at the fact that, I might want to get married. I might want to have kids. So within a few short while, you've changed your mind to maybe wanting kids. So that's when I knew, okay, there's something really bad here when it comes to Roxanne and Antonio. The reality is, that situation, he's got his own problems, and she, she's someone who likes to have the control. So she's sticking with him all the while. Once that finally goes, she'll be okay. She'll be okay. She'll be cool. Go for it. Sorry.
I think for me, I feel bad for how he's treated just like as a basic human. It kind of made me sad to see what she was saying about the rings and not wanting to wear it. I mean, anyone with a heart, oh my gosh, Rainbow, please. Anybody with a heart would feel bad. But, I think he's staying out of whatever stability that she's providing him. And then she's staying based on, the fact that she's able to control him and get whatever she needs out of it. So, I mean, honestly, it's clearly working for them, but again, not working for them. It's another one of those situations. So I hope he's able to really find his way so he doesn't ever have to be in this position again, because it's it's hard to see someone think so poorly of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with Trey. It's like, who wants to sit there and watch on TV someone who thinks so little of themselves?
But see, at the same time, it's the delusion that makes me not feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? Because you state that other men outside of this process has tried this with you, tell you that she says this, that, and the third. She, out her mouth, pretty much says everything that goes against you and what you stand for. Another man on the show tells you how he is interpreting what she's saying about you. And you fight everybody, even down to his mother and his family, to say they're all lying about her, yet still sitting on this stage here at the reunion as she sits next to you and say, yeah, I with a smile on her face, yes, I took the ring off the very next day. And no, I don't feel like I'm going to get married. No, in this moment, no, heck no, in this moment ever in life, no, he's still not my person. Basically, that's what she all but said to him. And he still sits there. So for me, it's like kind of hard for me to feel bad because he's actually making a choice to torture himself with this woman. You're staying by this when you have so many people telling you what they see is happening and what she's doing when you're not around and when you are around. That's the craziest part. She does half of the same stuff when you are around in your face. So she has absolutely zero respect for you. And that's where I see where you like, I can get what you on that, where I feel bad because he don't have any respect for himself to realize she don't have any for him. Like, yes, he need to go find himself, find some value in himself. And then I wouldn't say circle back to Roxanne, but you'll be happier.
Any other thoughts on Roxanne and Antonio? Someone asked, why was he running? I have no clue why he was running. He could have walked, but he ran. But
that was so dramatic. That was so freaking dramatic.
I was running for his dear life to meet his loved one before the
he
world.
Was a little strange too, because wasn't he saying to the other guy, James, like, oh, I want, when before they moved into the house, I want you to fully experience her. Like, I want you to,
yes,
I want you to enjoy her. I'm like, what?
He did say that. I thought that was really weird.
He also said another time when the guys were together that, oh yeah, she'll say some stuff like that. Like, so it's like, you know a lot about her. You know that she's open. Oh, when I think Alex was saying like, oh, if I was to be down to do anything, she would do it. And he was like, oh yeah, she's kind of like what?
Oh, go rewind, because Kojo told us earlier, and I missed it, that Rya said that the sister, when her sister met up with her, that things wasn't flowing downstairs with Trey. Like, she wasn't getting Merce.
Oh, yeah, I was speaking on that with Trey. I'm not gonna speak to that little part but it might hit on it a little bit. I feel like why she wants to go to the city and all this stuff. Like she seemed like she got some aspirations as far as like acting, modeling, some other stuff in that field. And he's small town. He don't want to move out of what he's familiar with or whatnot. And sometimes I get boring. And when it get boring, it don't get moisture down there. So maybe.
Why is Grace Mercy saved acting like she don't know what nothing is tonight? Oh, okay. She's like, glowing, question mark. Come on now. Everything can't be a question now. Cut it out.
She's been resaved. She don't know what
exactly.
She got re-dipped, okay?
Exactly. Come on now.
Eyes is saved.
Come on, you know what that is. Eyes saved.
We're gonna have to get re-dipped in that Miami water. That's where
Look, if you watching Ready to Love and Married at First Sight, you know all of this stuff because it comes up on every one of these shows. So cut it out.
Which part?
Not that innocent.
The flowing part?
Not that innocent. Not the flowing part. The flowing part.
Flowing part is
We
the
had
worst
questions
part, man.
all up and down the chat. Flowing, pegging, everything was a question.
Wait, with her thing, the flowing part.
I'm trying to figure out
The
what
flowing part. She didn't get no flow. She ain't got no flow. She ain't got no foreplay. She ain't got no flow.
That's probably another thing. He probably don't do no foreplay. But they both was admitting that they lack emotional connection. So
yeah.
I told them earlier that when me and Kojo and Seaway were talking, I said he just needs to, Trey just needs to come up with a better strategy, Talk to her nice.
You said
Tell
sell
her,
her
baby.
dream.
Yeah, baby, we're going to go to Atlanta. We're going to go right to Hotlanta right now, baby girl.
Didn't she say he don't do no romance?
Just lay down for a second. You're going to feel like you in Midtown in about 10 minutes.
We're
gonna be in Pound Town.
Town. I just took my foot down. Pinocho Roja, my culo brown.
I keep that in the virtual
T-shirt
thing.
T-shirt and my panties on.
That's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? That's a shame though. That's sad to know.
Well, we're your friend. We're your friend. The the sexpertologist people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Should come out clean.
Send them over to them. That's probably why Rhea was trying to see what James do. She like, just touch my hand. Come on.
I'll know if you touch my hand how he be working. You know what I mean?
She was curious. She was like, look.
She like, is it just me not flowing with anybody, or is it just not flowing with him? Touch my hands.
I'm just trying to figure out, what does she want to do in Atlanta she can't do in Charlotte? What is she really trying to do?
That's the question.
Now, see, wait, you been to Charlotte before?
No.
Charlotte and Atlanta are two very different places. I mean, the little section where they are, yes, it is a downtown and they have stuff going on, but Charlotte and Atlanta are very, very different,
Charlotte
yeah, but they're different. They're different for reasons that I'm trying to get to.
Right.
Well, she trying to get Magic City.
I think she could be like a bottle service. I could see her being a bottle service girl and making a lot of money.
Well, Crystal had laid it out in the chat for you. I ain't about to repeat it, but
she needed that whole, and then that's why she was so. We didn't. Oh, that's right. She was pissed at Trey. She was so pissed that he had feelings for Ryan. It was like, don't be mad. She was hating because old boy didn't give you the time of day.
He like, you get somebody else moist, but you can't get me moist.
Well, that's why Lisa got on her head the way she did, because she was praying, she was hoping and praying that Mr. Dangly earrings is gonna be her hall pass.
Yeah, she knew he'd have had that nose ring all up in all types of places.
That's what she wanted. Lisa said, "Not on my watch."
I'm making Jay blush. I'm acting up. They said you lay it down, Seaway.
They ain't lied. I gave up. I'm tired. Me and Coco tired. I did a new hot workout today. What is it? One of them 98-degree workouts. I'm exhausted and I'm hungry.
Katie, there is no yuck to that. You just listen. There's nothing wrong with the nose.
Sticking that nose ring in places.
Nobody's blowing their nose, but come on now.
I'm gonna take you to a place nice and quiet.
Well, I was listening to and I thought of Kojo. I'm a Capricorn.
Nothing about them Leos that drive me crazy, baby.
Oh, I thought of Coach. I was like, not this Capricorn.
They know they love a little Capricorn, man. Capricorn get you in trouble. Capricorns, all that stuff.
Love
That's
me
what they
a
want to talk about.
Capricorn, though. I swear I do. That's probably because I'm right next to him with the astrology chart. I love me a good Capricorn. They cool.
Capricorns is big cap.
She don't want no medal. Okay, I can respect that.
Capricorns is big cap.
Capricorn's gonna keep it 100. I like them.
They big cap. They ain't keeping nothing 100. Stop the games. I already told you that story, and I could tell you a whole nother one. See, wait.
Uh-oh. Don't let the Capricorns come in like the Tauruses did yesterday. They gonna get you.
they gonna get me. The Taurus got you, baby.
Somebody said Rya's gonna go back with a BBL.
Right, that's what she doing.
Okay. Any other thoughts, guys?
No, we just talking.
Hold on, ready to go to bed.
I'm ready to go to bed. I can't even lie to you. I'm at that point. But what do you guys think about the fact that the date's going to be in like 2025 or whatever, 2024?
Were you
whatever
sleeping?
She said. Did you guys talk about it already?
You talking about Roxanne or Rya?
No, I was talking about Rya. I know you guys discussed it slightly, innit? Because obviously you guys kind of
and then we made fun of you. Well, I did.
Oh, I didn't hear. That's how I know.
Yes, you did.
He didn't pay attention to what he heard.
He didn't know why
he was just doing his whole spiel of. All right, great point. Yeah. That's when you know. That's when you know Kojo is phased out. That's a great point, eh? Great point, eh? What's the great point? Yeah, what you said is a great point, eh? Yeah.
That blanket looks so cozy.
Yo,
I said that Rya is kicking that can, or Rya is kicking that can, just like you kicking your can down the court of being single.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. But yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay, so that's part. So Roxanne and Antonio. No other thoughts there. Did you discuss the fact that the actual disrespect that she actually brought, the fact that she took the ring the first day he bought it for her, and then she didn't wear it after that, and the excuse that she brought to the table.
Well, you didn't talk about it, so how about you talk about it? Because we did.
Stop talking about it. Did you go like this?
We did, you didn't. So how about you talk about it? How about that?
We would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
They want you to be serious at this point, because you can't be serious.
No, Janae, he was sleeping with his eyes open. He
right.
was not awake because he missed like half the live.
Y'all should know by now. When he gets that blanket and he wrap it around, he's going to sleep.
Y'all thought his eyes.
When he has the blanket wrapped around the chair, he looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
He's stuck to the chair so he can't even move.
Exactly. He is wrapped in that chair.
So wait, okay. So to make sure that we said everything about Roxanne and Antonio as well. So you spoke about obviously the fact that she took the ring off and everything. You guys spoke about the fact that he himself was making a lot of different faces as well. Like he actually wasn't being actually truthful about how he felt about Roxanne. Because a lot of times whenever Roxanne said something, he made a face to say he didn't agree. You know what I mean? Rather than just being firm on it. And that's actually what she's looking for from him. That firmness. See, she couldn't do that with Alex. She tried it with Alex in the kitchen one time. Alex bodied her and she said, I ain't never doing this again.
She was ready to smack Alex.
She was ready to smack him because she couldn't win. Yeah, once she realized that she can go toe-to-toe, she ain't going to do it again. But with Antonio, she can go toe-to-toe. And actually, let me tell you something. Roxanne's contempt, I'm going to use this word, contempt for Antonio is so huge. If you go to the third episode, go back to when Antonio starts talking about Kat and saying, I really appreciate Kat, seeing me for who I am. You see her rolling her eyes like, oh my God. And then you see the same thing again when he's talking about his business and talking about how, he's now starting up he's having, he set up 1 or 2 businesses. He's got his little his little car company, whatever. And she was like, well, basically, yeah, it's great. I'm no longer in the car business. That's 10 years ago. And she made it sound as if like it's trivial, as if like that's a small thing that she did 10 years ago. So yeah, that boy, he going down to death. Okay, so going down to death. I did hear you guys talk about the delusion that he carried, so I want to ask you about that. But any other thoughts about Antonio and Roxanne before we go?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I just feel bad for him because it's like I don't think anything he's gonna be able to do is gonna make her happy unless he just wakes up and wins the lottery and becomes a multimillionaire overnight, because she's either gonna take credit for it, minimize it, and she still don't want to marry him. So
but watch though, if he walk out on her, she'll want him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Somebody said that business. She must have another business, unless that them pasties that she's peddling is really selling like that.
That can't be her only business, but maybe it is.
Well, she said cars and breasts go together.
Well, they go together now because she didn't want to do it. Like I said, it looked like an investment. She made an investment into his business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's partially hers. Look at it. Look. He did a little nod too.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
What we just say, Kojo?
Somebody need to come rock Kojo to sleep.
What?
He is self-soothing at this point. He don't even need the rock.
You don't need to be rocked.
If he gets a rock, he ain't gonna wait until Saturday.
Right. Buddy, yeah.
Can we talk about how you was messing up little Boozy's name on the other live? Can we talk about that?
I was like, what is this when I watched it back?
Well, Boozy.
Boozy.
Right. They said you were calling him
that
name.
Boozy name before then. He said somebody else's name before then too. He was messing their name.
Oh, Delish.
Oh yeah,
Delish.
Delish.
Delicious, because it's delicious. I think it's quite close. She should be proud of that. Delicious.
Bussy is something completely different.
No, but he didn't say Bussy.
Yeah. He was saying Bussy.
I didn't hear him say Bussy. He said Bussy.
Yes,
Bussy.
and then he was adding a Z. He was going in and out of it because we were trying to tell him. Multiple people were trying to tell him, and he was like, "I'm gonna say what I want to say."
But I was reading the chat because the chat was over there.
Now you putting an Alex on me because that's not what I said.
What did you say?
No, when he read the chat. When he read the chat, he definitely would probably said it there because the chat wasn't putting it on
he was like, well, that's gonna be his name today, until we kept saying what it was, and then you looked and you was like, oh, that's what it is at? Oh no.
Bussy popping. Head down.
My days.
On a handstand.
On a hand.
That was classic because you were serious about that name.
Y'all were killing me.
It was
what do you all think about the Brittany Renner thing? What do you not think of the Brittany Renner thing? You don't. I know you guys saw the Brittany Renner thing. What did you guys think of it?
You know what? I didn't see that extra clip until I watched your live earlier. I didn't see all that extra part because I seen where she threw the water, and I guess they cut to where she was cussing out the guy in the background for laughing, but I didn't see the whole in between. And now that I see the whole in between, yes, I still think there's some substance in play, but also she's suffering from what she was trying to go down as not being heard. Because that's kind of like some of the stuff that she was saying is that I've been saying this for years. I've been saying these type of things for years, but nobody listens to me. And as soon as they start all laughing, and that's when she just went on a whole rant and went crazy and Stonewall. Because I mean, not Stonewall, but went crazy and just started going off on everybody because it just triggered her. And that same thing is nobody's listening to me. Nobody take me serious. Nobody, whatever. So she needs help.
She was tripping, but they were also pissing me off. Mm-hmm. And that nigga in the back who wanted so much attention, who wanted to keep going and going and going, bro, shut the hell up. You see, he just wanted to be seen or heard. He was kind of annoying me. I mean, Brittany Renner is suffering from her own. She's suffering from some of the actions that she's done, and now she's reaping the consequences of it, and that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem is that men are also super ignorant, and then when you add in alcohol and whatever else, it was the perfect storm. I think she was actually saying real things underneath the acting out, but the acting out is because I think she's super hurt. And it's almost like these stupid niggas don't have common sense. She's not even getting no type of no.
You know he sleep because now she on a good rant.
Yeah, he sleep, but it's okay. Look, it's at this point I need people to wake up. Brittany Renner ain't getting no type of real money. Right, actually wake up. Brittany Renner ain't getting no type of real money from PJ Washington at all. I don't understand. And then people keep saying she trapped him. This man got 2 more babies. This man is trapping himself. He a big dummy himself. So did she mess it up by going online talking about how to get a basketball player? Yes. Did she mess up her own situation by camping out at high school basketball and college basketball games trying to land a baller? Yes. But at the end of the day, anybody who was paying any attention knows good and well that Brittany Renner really didn't trap PJ Washington. And she ain't won nothing by having a baby with that man at all. That little money that he giving her ain't crap. That little money wouldn't keep me afloat that she getting for that baby. She need to go and ask for an increase. That little money couldn't pay for my apartment. Them niggas are stupid on that show. She shouldn't even been on there.
All commentary is allegedly, and that's that.
Allegedly. I mean, I don't know what's alleged though, but allegedly, I guess.
Okay. Oh, thoughts of Seaways. Oh, you will wake up. Hey, welcome back.
Okay, I think
we still live. All right, let me get. Sorry, we still live.
Yeah, please wrap this up because you done started Seaway on Brittany Renner, and forget it. She just went on a tear.
Good night, y'all.
Felicia said, Kojo, you got your second win, and Kojo lost his first win.
The one that's off camera that be going off, right? The one off camera.
I'll gather some strength when I come off the camera. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for joining us with this live. Oh wait, Sean, you gotta give it this.
No, he can't know because you sleep. You never go hang up.
Let's just wrap it up.
Give us a quick benediction. Give us a quick benediction.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we need to invoke Jesus because
don't
is where our help comes from.
Don't have
the bots coming. We ain't allowed to talk about Jesus no more. The bots don't come.
What are you talking about, Seaway? Go to sleep.
The bots that came.
Shine, not that man that died on the cross. Not him, okay?
Not that man, right?
Not that man.
So he has risen, by the way. So if you didn't know, now you know. Listen, the biggest thing is if you got to give somebody an ultimatum to walk down the aisle, you need to rethink it. Back to you, Kojo.
That's all you got to say. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Hey everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for joining us and yeah, and I can't even get my words out, but thank you for joining us today. And just just go wherever you gotta go safely.
Please hit the like before y'all leave. Like, subscribe.
Yes, thank you. Thanks. Like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button. Okay, guys. All right. Appreciate you. Yeah.
They're gonna drag you in the comments. They're gonna be telling you how to run your channel. The comment gonna say,
how you gonna be asleep?
Live, please get some sleep. You do not want to see you falling asleep on your live.
You know what it is? When you guys are here, I can rest easy. It's something that Roxanne can't do. I can do it. When you guys are here, I can rest easy. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
I feel
such a compliment.
Y'all great at what y'all do. So appreciate you guys.
Jay, you talk too much.